And this is just going to go like that.
Yep.
Slightly down?
Sure.
Okay. 10, 11. So this will go here, and we want the valve facing down.
Yes.
Okay.
We just have to make sure we have room to...
Is that right?
Well, I mean, I guess we could do it either way, right?
Yeah.
But I think we'd rather it going down so it doesn't
interfere
with that, because we've got
the
this
fill.
thing here.
Yep.
And
okay, that's right. 10, 11.
Isn't that called like a multi-wrench or something?
some people call it that.
Yeah, did she save her money?
Okay.
Yeah, for home.
Yeah. Okay.
Good?
Yeah. If we do it like that,
how
we can support it here.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Might need to bend it a little bit more to get it closer to that wall.
Bend it this way?
Yeah, because it's still sitting like a little bit away, right? And that
Well,
clamp
like
sits
that,
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so let's do the one side.
This goes like this. Is that correct?
I think so.
Okay. And this is the 3/4 head.
Yep.
Okay. 11. 10. 11. Everything ready. Okay. 10. 11. Make sure that still spins. Okay, it's coming.
Okay.
Go like that, right? Like that. Maybe like that. Okay, excuse me. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Okay. 6, 7. I'm trying to be careful not to put a kink in it.
You want to cut that there about.
Okay. That's good. Okay. That'll go like that. And this will go. I want to get this right before I go straight down.
Yeah.
Okay. 6, 7. Okay. All right, so we're continuing with the plumbing. We have the top of the pump now plumbed. So we had a reducer here from 1 inch to 3/4 inch because we're running 3/4 inch down here in the bay, and this curves in. And fortunately, the PEX is pretty curvy. It allows us to do quite a bit without needing an elbow every time. This valve here will shut off water from or to the pump. If we're running on city water, if that's what we choose to do, then we would shut this valve off and city water would come through right back here where that T is down. And we've also plumbed now our water heater mostly. So that's a supply line coming down here which supplies the cold end of the heater. The hot end of the heater comes here. It'll have a another piece of PEX that will go to the manifold for distribution, and that's going to require us to solder on these little adapters here onto the end of that. Same on the other side. There's another 1/2 inch line here that feeds the cold end, which will be the frontmost manifold, and it will also have a line there. It's coming together. The PEX stuff has been pretty great to work with, so, especially compared to this plastic stuff. So it's been kind of fun just cutting everything up and getting everything laid out. It's all been working out really well so far. All right, so we're getting ready to do another short one here, and one thing we wanted to mention that we've learned is when they're short like this, see how far the expander goes into it. What you have to do is both sides kind of at the same time. So what I do is I'll click this one 11 times, click it 11 times this way, then do one more this way, and then go fit it on. And so it's a little bit trickier than normal, but it's not too bad. The first time we just stuck the fitting on there, I turned it around and put the thing on it and broke the fitting. so anyway, don't do that. Do both sides, and then it should work. And then I flip it over and do that one more time. All right, so we're using this, this is actually Uponor, but it's PEX piping. And it comes in a roll like this. And at first we thought, oh, we'll just take it out of the roll. It'll make it a little easier to work with. But then I saw some guys online, and that is not an easier way to work with it, because what happens is it starts to blow up. And so, or it starts to get way bigger, and it's much harder to handle. So fortunately, ours came with instructions, but what you do is rip the center and then just kind of find the inside on the inner curve and then just pull it out as you need it like this. So we're going to need about 60 some inches for our next run. So just pull it out like this, and it keeps it in this nice shape for when you cut it, and then it just stays in its little package instead of being all over the place. So that was one of the things we learned from working with this stuff. All right, so another thing we kind of learned playing with this stuff is we need about a 69 or 65 inch straight piece of this, but this is kind of hard to measure. And it is a little hard to straighten out, but we've got relatively short runs, so what we did is cut a hole in just a piece of plywood and a 2x4, and then what we do is feed it through, and then I'll just use that to bend it in the opposite direction, just like this. And then what that does is it starts to straighten it out pretty well. And so then, you know, with it this much, I can just start to do it by hand. This gives me a lot of leverage to be able to pull it through, and the wood is pretty soft, so it's not going to gouge this too bad, and it's much easier than trying to just crank it all by hand and keep it all in one direction. So that's another of the things we've learned. All right, now that we've got this piece straight, we need a 90 in it, and so we've marked where there's like the elbow, and so we've made that mark here. And so now I'm just going to use this, and I'm going to bend it. So where this 90 is, it needs to already be going straight. So I can use this same thing now to bend this down and form a nice sweeping 90. So you want to be careful because you don't want a kink in it. So you want to just do it just gently, little by little, and it'll come. And then just we're going to put a 90 in this one, and then they make these supporters that just kind of clamp onto the tube, and they give that 90 just a nice support. And so, you know, you can bend them around the 90s, and it prevents you from developing a kink. So anyway, I'm going to bend this a little bit and try to get it to go in here. Okay. All right, so there it is.